Insights channel, Steve here, and today I'm going to be talking about the first couple of weeks of Trump and his government in the US since his inauguration. And just to mention, there's been an amazing amount of things happening in the last 2 weeks, which is quite staggering. I won't go into the things that I mentioned about 4 days ago. I'll just mention some of the new things. In my latest article on my website, by the way, it's a new website, new blog. It's called Insights Publication, or www.insightspublication.com. And my latest article, I think it's number 8 in the last month, is what's going on with Trump, Musk and Kennedy. And I must confess, I'm very impressed with the amount these guys are shaking up the government over there in America. It's unprecedented. It never happened before. That's why it's a real shock to the system. And I think the powers that be are kind of... Well, the big question is, are the powers that be shaken up by this, or is it part of the greater billionaire plan? I think that's the thing. But anyway, it looks good. It's interesting. It's good to see corruption get thrown out, and it's good to see many government agencies cut down and to try and save billions or hundreds of billions. We've known, as many have said for many years, somebody has to clean up that government, and it's finally happening. I think the big question everybody would like to know is it for better? Or is it ultimately for worse? Well, looking at things for the first 2 weeks, I'm optimistic so far. So we'll stay on the optimistic side. They mean well, at least for the time being. So what is Trump really up to? Who's behind him? Well, in looking at different articles, you'll find there's different opinions about that, which is understandable. And Musk, who is this Elon Musk guy? Very interesting character, and he wants to try and get mankind on Mars. Interesting vision. And also, as you know, he has some of the most advanced electric car company in the world. As for Kennedy, from the famous Kennedy family, we've been following him for years, and he has indeed stood up for a lot of good things concerning health, and all happened during the C and the V 5 years ago. He got it spot on what he said, and for many other things that he's fought for. So we have a mixed bag with those three, a real mixed bag. It's a very difficult situation. I understand it's very, very difficult. I don't think politics is easy at all, because there's so many opinions you've got to go by. You can't just be some like absolute king of the past. No, there are supporters that put you in power, and some people give a lot of money, and so you have to listen to some of the things they say, not just what the people say. And that is the position that Trump's in. As one writer, as you'll see, I'll mention some of the links on this article, and you'll see, it'll be very good to find out what's going on right now, because a lot's happening, and very quickly. I just wish America will keep on the course they're going of change, which is a good thing. So, I'll just mention a few things been happening that I think people should know about, and see what you think of these articles. So you've got, and like I say, you want to get the links, you need to go on my website, rather than me tell you what they are. You can easily find out all this information. Just go on my website, www.insightspublication.com. And this article, which I wrote a couple of days ago, is what's going on with Trump, Musk and Kennedy. And the article before that was also about the first 2 weeks since the inauguration, what's been going on. But you'll find a massive number of links here to, I mean, there's so much going on. I cannot nobody can keep up with how much is going on. You just have to specialize in what takes your interest or your fancy, but it's shocking how much is going on. But I would like to make this a little announcement here. Last April 2024, I was interviewed by Chris on his show, And we were talking about signs of the times as related to the Bible, and we were talking about comets and blood moons and full eclipse of the sun and alignment of the stars, this sort of thing. And one of the things I mentioned at that time is that according to experts who know Bible prophecy, and they also know about astrology, and they know through history, every time you get the alignment of the stars and you get blood moons and full eclipse of the sun, this sort of thing happening, and a comet is coming by that are noticeable, with the Devil's Comet last April, that they do mean something, contrary to what others would like to say, oh, it's just coincidence, didn't mean anything. Actually, if you look through history, you'll find many examples that it did result in things happening. A change in society, for one. One of the things it says about comets, for example, 8 things a comet doth bring. When on high it doth horrid range. Famines, earthquakes, death to kings, and dire change. Now, dire change is the thing I'm mentioning today because what's happening in the United States right now with the new government could only be under that category of dire change. As others are saying, it's never happened before. Nobody has stirred up the whole government and the top government and the CIA and thrown them out and all kind of things left, right. Well, that's what they've been doing. They've been throwing out all the top government and the top government officials because it's all corrupt. The big question is why. Are they doing it for the benefit of the people? Or have they got some other motive of the billionaires and trillionaires? Well, that remains to be seen. We're not ignorant of the devil's devices. We know what's possible. I said it a few years ago with an article. I talked about, I said, look, the powers that be, they will not be able to keep up this charade of the World Economic Forum, and I'm glad to see Trump told them off in person. That's another thing he did. He told off the World Economic Forum. Thank God he did. You know, people like Klaus Schwab, these idiots who've been going around and say by the year 2030, you will own nothing and you will eat bags. I mean, what blasphemous, audacity, what blasphemous pride and arrogance. Well, I think finally it's possible the powers be realised that being so arrogant and proud like they have been the last 5 years, up until Trump, isn't working. Do you know that the BBC used to have an 80% audience in the UK that used to like the BBC, used to like what they do? You know what the BBC audience is now? 12%. People do not believe in any of the main media anymore. Most people don't even bother listening to it. They know it's a load of, CRAP, right? They know it's nonsense. And now, fortunately, Trump and his government, they know that too. And they are exposing a lot of the main media. They are, as we speak. That's fantastic. About blooming time, clean up the shop. I'm glad to see it as it is right now. Mustn't get too positive, but just be observant, I'd say. Just be hopeful that the government is doing something for the people and is going to clear up the mess and do something about the terrible corruption there was during the Biden years, and to undo the damage that was done when there were terrible disasters in America last year. A lot of people got killed in floods and all kinds of things, and the government wasn't there to help them. Well, that's going to change now. You can't trample on the people all the time, or you're going to lose your popularity. You won't have anybody to support you at all. And I think that's what happened with the Biden administration. While getting thrown out on their ear, and Trump got in with a landslide. There are reasons. I think the reason is Trump took the time to listen to what the people said for change. Somebody actually listened. So far so good, I'd say. It's been 2 amazing weeks. But there have been other things going on as well as the government changing, the new administration changing the top of the government and that. There's been a lot been going on. You've had Netanyahu visiting the Oval Office there, or the White House, and deciding what America's going to do regarding Israel for the future and also the Palestinians. So that's been going on. and what is America going to do with the war in Ukraine. That's been happening as well. There is also big talk of economic trouble, especially in the UK, and also in America, yes. Some people think that the big disturbance of the government by the new government could cause the whole system to collapse, but hopefully not. I think it's very good. The new government has completely shut down USA ID because they found that all this so-called US aid, as it really is, US aid, was you're getting hundreds of billions were going to some random somewhere for random reasons. So they've shut that down. And like I said, the main media are in big trouble, especially New York Times and Politico, Associated Press, because of things that have now been revealed about bribes they've received and a lot of money they received from the government under Biden, etc. It says here, Trump the disruptor moves with blinding speed to remake the governmental system that has dominated for decades. That's a very interesting article indeed. Yes. Wow. It's very, very interesting, but you have to see on my website, because there are things I can't say right now, but on my website I do say more. You know, the inside information. Go on my website and see it, because then I can speak more freely. Wow. Yes, I know some of you out there, you would say, yeah, but what is really going on? I mean, it looks good on the surface, but what is really going on? Well, if you want to know that, you need to go on my website. And you should read my books like Out the Bottomless Pit, books 1 and 2. Talk about what goes on behind the governments of this world and what's going on spiritually behind the scenes and what's going on in the underworld. It's all connected. You have to realize also what is predicted. This predictor, there is going to come a nice guy. And I wrote about it a few years ago. I told people, look, it won't stay the way it is with them being nasty all the time. Now, all you have to do to know that is just study what the CIA is and how that first they torture people and then they give them what they want. And that's what it looks like to me right now. First, they're very bad to everybody, like in the last 5 years leading up to Trump's time. And then suddenly they give the people what they want, and they seem to be being nice. But is it real? Maybe some of them are real, maybe Trump is real, maybe he means well. But does it depend on him when his others are put him in power, not the people? And those are the kind of questions you need to ask. Another thing going on, of course, everyone knows about all this mass deportation. I'd say, what is the real motive behind that? Why did you invite them in the first place if you're just going to chuck everybody out later? That's another whole issue in itself there. As long as you don't throw the wrong people out. I understand the government wants to get rid of criminals and they want to get rid of gangs and they want to get rid of people who are causing a lot of trouble. That's understandable. As long as they don't throw innocent foreigners out by being clumsy, careless. So, anyway, like I said, there's a lot going on, and I would encourage people, please take a look at my new website, www.insightspublication.com, and the new blog that's on it, which will be talking about the kind of things we're talking about today, and mentioning things about my books, my new books. I've got 11 books, and I would encourage people to get hold of my books. My first book came out was about the paranormal and also about economics, politics, because they're all linked together. Out the Bottomless Pit, and show what the government was up to behind the scenes and the military and all that, what was going on around the planet the last 150 years. And why did science advance so fast, so quickly? Why? Well, there's a reason for it all. It's linked with the spiritual and the underworld. But you can find that out in my book, Out the Bottomless Pit. Out the Bottomless Pit. Yeah. That's my first book, Out the Bottomless Pit 1. And as a sequel to that, Out the Bottomless Pit 2, which came out about a year ago. Yeah. And then I have also 9 Insights books, which are based on the Apocrypha books, starting with Enoch Insights. Josh Insights, book 1 and 2. Jubilee's Insights. The next one was Eden Insights, based on the Lost Books, Adam and Eve. Testament of 12 Patriarchs Insights, and then we had Secrets of Enoch Insights, was based on the second book of Enoch. I would recommend people get hold of my books. My books, they're not just any old book. I mean, you can read the Book of Enoch or Josh, all those, just maybe you can get it online somewhere, but it's not the same as having these comments and these links that I put in these books. It's taken a lot of time to make these books, and they're study books, and they're for those who really want to know what's going on, because I'll tell you, with those ancient Hebrew books and Apocrypha books, a lot of it you can't understand without some help, without somebody helping you with a little bit here and there. Then it comes alive, because it took a long time to work on these books, a long time. So they are study books, and I would encourage repeaters to get hold of the books. And you get them at Amazon. That's the easiest way to get them at Amazon. Or go on my website, it shows all of them there and links you with Amazon. Or you can actually buy them straight from me if you want to. Sometimes I give deals like buy a couple of books, get one from free if you buy them straight from me. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at stephen.strutt, that's with a PH, at btinternet.com. That's one of my emails. Yeah, I've got quite a few different emails. But you can contact me there, stephenph.strutt, S-T-R-U-T-T, at btinternet.com. And I can do a deal for you still. I was doing it over Christmas, I'm still doing this deal. You buy 2 of my books, you get the 3rd one for free. Okay, well, thanks for listening, everybody. Bye for now.